Hello and welcome to Collective Tarot. My name is Casey. And this is going to be readings for your rising sign for this new moon that we have in Aries. And let me tell you, this is a very crowded, new moon. It is conjunct Mercury, Neptune, Mars, Saturn, the Sun, and Chiron, who is the wounded warrior. Those are all the placements in Aries right now. And it, depending on where that lands in your chart, it's just a lot. It's a lot for all of us. It's just a lot collectively. So here's the nuts and bolts of it, is that like all of this astrology is squaring Jupiter. So everything that's going on is squaring Jupiter in Cancer. And it's basically saying, look, as we are changing and transforming, because Aries is the start of the zodiac, right? So this is the traditional ruler of first house of self. So this is a renewal, rebirth, transformations, tearing things down, starting over, hitting a new start, like burning it down. And we're in a 1 year, right? 2026 is a 1 year. And it's better than it was, because, I mean, not to get super political here, but like, think about the Epstein files. Like, you remember when we didn't know what was in them? Do you remember, back in 2025, when it was just like, we're going to release them, and we didn't know what was in there? Well, now that we do know, like, it's better. It's better than not knowing, but it's also like, we have things that we need to reconcile, and the things that come out are like anger and frustration and grief, and it's just, you can't ever go back, right? You can't ever go back once you know something. Once you know, there's no return. So this is what that feels like. This is that moment of the reckoning. And I say that because all of this is also in a sextile, meaning like grooving 60 degrees, so like sextiling, in conversation with Pluto and Aquarius. And Pluto and Aquarius is we the people. It's about the collective. And in July, the North Node will go into, the end of July, the North Node goes into Aquarius. So it's going to be focused on we the people, and the South Node is going to go into Leo, which is going to be not good for anybody who is, a populist, and not anybody who relies on vanity and popularity for power. It's out with the individual, and it's in with the community. So if you're like, what is going on right now? Like, why do I feel tired, burnt out at the end of my rope? I thought like 2026 was like new year, new me. And in many ways it is. But when you do something new, you're not very good at it at first. And it's not, you don't do something brand new and you're like, oh, it's so easy, right? Like, no, nothing is automatic yet. Your brain, when you are learning something new, it's doing its best to try to simplify it so that it can create a neural pathway for like the most efficient way it thinks something can be done. And then once that has been established and you've done it a few times, then it becomes easy and automatic, and then you can just do it without thinking of it. But like when you're first trying to do something, your actual brain is working against you to be like, don't do that. Absolutely not. We're not doing it that way. That's a bad way. This is scary. And then your body starts to feel it, and it's like, it starts to brace and it starts to tension. It's like, why am I so tired? Why do I want to do this thing? And then it starts throwing out signals like we're wired to seek comfort, even if that comfort is not good for us, okay? So what we're trying to do, we're trying to break that cycle of discomfort, live with this temporary discomfort so that we can build something brand new. And that's what this astrology is about, because when it's squaring Jupiter in Cancer, it's about like, and sextiling Pluto in Aquarius, it's about like, okay, how do we take care of ourselves and one another? Like, how do we make it so loud that we are not caring for certain people? We're not caring for certain things. We're certainly not caring for women, because this is in Cancer and this is the moon. And if the Artemis space exploration didn't inspire you to look at the world and our universe and the galaxy differently, like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, obviously you're sitting here watching this, so you believe in something, but that perspective of looking at Earth and how beautiful we are, and no matter all the destruction that we've done to ourselves and to the planet and to each other in war, and yet when you look at us from a distance, there's so much potential, there's so much beauty, there's so much to be grateful for. Like, that is what this moment is. That is what all of this astrology in Aries, sextiling Pluto and squaring Jupiter, is just like, this is all worth it, because we're tearing down things that never worked to begin with, and we're building them again for us. Not just one of us, not just three of us, all of us. It's all of us or none of us. And that's always the case. Okay, so now we're going to get into the astrology. I am going to, the first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to level set this, and I'm going to pull a card for all of us, because by setting the collective tarot, it's going to sort of anchor in the readings for all of us. So collectively, this is the Two of Wands, okay? And this is an Aries card. And at the bottom of the deck is the Strength card, which is Leo. So basically, this is saying, like, this is Leo energy. This is also the energy of the sun. This is about going back to the drawing board, okay? So the Two of Wands is about Mars and taking action. You can look at everything in your life that has not been working now, and you can start to put together a plan to say, okay, this is what I want. Like, if the world was going to end tomorrow, let's take the COVID lesson. Let's take the lockdown lesson for a second. If the world was ending tomorrow, who would be standing next to you? What would you be doing? Like, if there are no rules and this all collapsed tomorrow, what would you want to be doing? Like, that's the question. And it's not to be like doomsday, but it is to, like, your life is yours to live. You don't need half of the things that you get off of Amazon to be happy, right? Like, if you would strip yourself down to the bones, if you burned your life down to the studs and rebuilt it, what would you rebuilding it around? Okay? That is what I want you to think about for this new moon in Aries, because this new moon in Aries, these are the seeds of 2026. This is the brand new ground that we've been tearing down and working towards and shedding skin and rebuilding. Like, these are your new seeds. This is your new soil for 2026, okay? Because once we went into the energetic new year, we had a full moon in Taurus, which was still a little bit like those seeds were planted, back in 2025. So this is our chance to start something new, to plant brand new seeds. So what are we planting? That's the context for these readings. Now remember, I do these based on your rising sign. So if you look at your rising sign below, and just if you don't want to hear the other signs being read, totally fine. That's why I do the little time codes. Okay, we are going to start. You know what? We're just going to go in order because there's so much going on in Aries right now. We're going to start with Aries Risings. Are you okay? Okay. So this is the Six of Swords, and it is the Six of Swords is an Aquarius card, and it's a card about communication and mindset shifting, and you have the Death card underneath. So this is about like changing the story that you have in your head about you. Whatever story that has been driving your life right now, how you see yourself, like, I mean, look, with all of this stuff going on in your first house, like the whatever version of you existed before, that version is literally dying or needs to be dead. And you need to change the story that you have in yourself. You're not a victim. You are also not to blame. You can do hard things, new things. You're not the bad guy. Like, whatever the story that is in your head about you, you don't deserve nice things. You don't deserve. You are loved and cherished and needed. Your voice is needed. You are needed. Anything that happened to you when you were a child, you're not responsible for. But everything that you do now, you are responsible for. So, you know, I know some people really struggle with that one. I know when I first got the Al-Anon, I really struggled with that one. I was just like, what do you mean it's my responsibility? It's just like, well, I'm not a child anymore. I don't have to hang out with mean people who treat me poorly. It's my choice. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's not so bad. That's easy. All I have to do is love myself. Fine. That is my responsibility. So that's what I mean, Aries Risings. Like, it's time to let the old stories go and, like, let's pretend like you're a good person and you deserve happiness. What does your life look like? Okay? Okay. Ooh. Now it's Taurus Risings, which is me. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, here we go. Now, Taurus Risings, we are at the 29th degree of Uranus in Taurus. We're almost done. Next week is when we're done with this. So we've been doing a lot of work and change and death, rebirth, and transformations and, like, challenges and shifts and struggles since 2018. And we're just at the end of the cycle. Like, I don't know about you, but the person I was in 2018, even though I have the same physical address, quite literally, every other thing has changed except my address. Like, trust. Oh, that runs deep. Sorry, I just realized that right now. Literally, the only thing that remains the same from 2018 is my address. Ooh, wow. That's new. Okay, so we also have Venus. We have Venus in our sign too, so that's nice. And this moon it's in Aries. It's right next door. So everything that's happening is happening in our 12th house of our subconscious. So all of the things that I just told Aries, we've been doing that. We've been doing that for a minute. Ours is all happening under the hood. So if you're, like, writing a memoir, if you're doing through therapy, if you're going through EMDR, if you're looking through old journals, if you're like, this is our time to look under the hood and rest and be like, we've either done the homework and changed, or we have not done the homework and this feels bad. So my advice is do the homework. Okay. Yeah, do the homework. So this is the Six of Cups reversed. This is a Scorpio card. Scorpio is in our 7th house of relationships. So what this means specifically is that if there are things from your childhood that are coming up right now, and this is the Knight of Pentacles, which is you on a mission because you're a Taurus. So look, with Uranus leaving and Venus being in our sign, things are going to start to move forward again, slow and steady. And this is about things from our childhood coming to the surface because, you know, anytime you have Chiron in the mix with the new moon, it's going to bring up some hurt. And this week, I think Saturday, the Sun and Chiron converge. They're in the same, like, they have oh my God, they're at the same degree. Thank you. And that always brings our wounds to the surface. But, like, this is the cool thing about it, Taurus Risings, is that, like, we know, right? Like, we're not kids. It's just like I said, we're not kids anymore. Nothing can hurt us from our past. We're good. All we have to do is move forward knowing how to keep ourselves safe, make the money we want to make for ourselves. We're responsible for our own abundance, and we're good. There's nothing in our way anymore, okay? We've learned the lessons, we've done the thing. We just got to get back to work, okay? Get back to work and things are going to be fine. Slow and steady, okay? Taurus Risings, it is going to be okay. Okay, so Gemini Risings, this is happening in your 11th house. Friends, community, the outside world. Ooh, this card jumped out. Oh, shit. Gemini Risings, you got Judgment. So something is calling you. I feel like you got this the last time. Oh, man. Okay. Now it's starting to make sense. Jeez. Okay, Gemini Risings, you're about to have Uranus go into your sign. So you have the Judgment card that's right here. And the Judgment card is the Pluto card. So that's 11th, 10th, 9th. So this is related to Pluto. And then this Hierophant right here is related to Taurus, which is your 12th house, which is fixed earth, which is the hardest thing for you to grapple with. So with Uranus in your 12th house of subconscious and like you really grappling with physical things in your body, that's what a 12th house in Taurus is. It's just like anything that's tangible, your body, your throat chakra, your physical safety and well-being, anything in the body. That's the Gemini Rising sort of challenge. So when you have Pluto calling, is like there's a calling that's calling to you about something, and Scorpio is your 6th house of work and health. So it's like if there's some sort of healing or work thing specific to healing and helping other people, like following a calling, that's what this that's what the seeds of this new moon is asking you to plant. Because your rising sign, this is all happening in your 11th house, but you are sextile Aries in general. You're literally 60 degrees away from Aries. So this is a big deal. And also your rising sign is being trined by Pluto, and Uranus is about to go into your sign. In fact, you're already starting to feel the energy. And then I have the Lovers here, which also I just peeked out. So like, this is about new relationships. This is about bringing people into your fold. This is about following your calling. This is about getting together with people. And this is like real love, true love, divine love. And you see how many angels are present in this? This is a really nice reading for you, Gemini Rising. It's like, it's time for you to have faith. Faith in yourself, faith in other people, faith in partnerships that you want to create. Like, it's time for you to follow your calling and to like create some stability and a foundation with somebody else. Wow, I love that for you. Oh, and I have the 9 of Pentacles reversed, and this is the Virgo card. And this is the Venus card. It relates to Venus. And, sometimes you can feel like happy alone, Gemini Rising. You're like, oh, it's good enough alone. And it's just like, well, not totally. Just because there's somebody else in your life doesn't mean you lose your independence. I want you to remember that. I have to remind myself of this all the time. So that's a really, yeah. So Gemini Risings, this is a big new moon for you. So plant good seeds. Okay, Cancer Rising, this is happening in your career house. And like I said, this is squaring, the Jupiter in your first house, conjunct your first house, is squaring all of this. So people are seeing you very differently than they have before. There's just been a lot of movement in your career house. I hope you've been feeling that lately. Things lighting on fire, trying new things, seeing what sticks. Oh, okay. So you have the exact opposite of Aries. And this is a mindset. So this is an internal mindset shift. So this could be about like a change that you're resisting, especially because you have the Six of Wands in the contrary. And the Six of Wands in the contrary, it's very interesting. So you have, this is an Aquarius card. Like I said, the Six of Swords relates to Mercury. And then the Six of Wands relates to Leo. And the Six of Wands is about Jupiter. So like there's some sort of like unspoken thing that you want, especially because this is happening in your career house, and you need to just speak it into existence. Like whatever your story is, there's a win. There's a big celebration. There's a big win on the horizon, or that you're, I don't want to say manifesting, because manifesting makes it seem like you say it and then it just happens. There's so much work that goes into people actually manifesting things. But a huge part of your power, Cancer, is that because you can change so much and transform so much. I mean, you have Jupiter in your sign right now that's literally attracting everything to you. I really think that like they say like right action leads to right thinking, or right behaviors leads to right thinking. This is like that last stubborn part of Cancer that's like, you're okay. You've done it. You've done the things. You need to release the story that you haven't done it. That's a very old story. The old story of like you not winning, you never getting exactly what you want. Like, you have too much proof now knowing that you can do whatever you want. There's no more excuses. Time to come out and play, Cancer Risings, which is pretty exciting. I think that's really exciting. But also it could be something about, keep in mind that like those things are in the contrary. So maybe you're thinking about them, and this new moon is actually stirring you because you have the Two of Wands as the context card to be like, okay, as soon as July hits, as soon as the nodes switch, like that's what I'm doing. So maybe it's inviting you to look at the story that you're going to create about your rebirth and your own transformation, and you're just like preparing it. That's another way of reading that. Okay, Leo risings. Very good. This is your 9th house of travel, new moon. So much is going into your 9th house of travel, publishing, higher learning, higher education, higher purpose. This is good. This is a house that's traditionally ruled by Sagittarius. Okay. So this is the Three of Hearts. This is the Three of Swords reversed. And this is the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, I love this for you. So the Three of Hearts is a Libra card, and it directly relates to Saturn. So because Saturn is at play in this new moon, because Saturn is also in Aries, this is about grief, okay? And you see how the swords are upside down, so they're falling out. Like this is about you releasing the grief about unmet expectations. This is about releasing the grief about anything, just releasing it. Like this is the start of a brand new cycle for you. Okay. And these unmet expectations, all of this grief, all of this disappointment, let it spin, right? It's turning. This is part of it. You've experienced the hurt. You've weathered the storm, but the storm is passing. Okay. And this is turning a brand new tide for you. This is a huge wave that's leading to so many things happening in your 10th house, because all of these planets are moving forward and they're going to go right into Taurus. So just know that all of this momentum and grief and the travel and the things that you're experiencing, all of this sort of like frustration, like let it move through you because it's preparing you. Okay. Saturn is the lesson maker. It's preparing you for really massive changes in your career, 10th house, because Uranus is going to leave and all of this stuff is pushing right in. Okay. This is good. This is really, really, really good for you, Leo risings. So happy. Okay. Virgo risings. Virgo risings. 7th. This is in your 8th house. So this is right on time. This is all happening in your house of death, rebirth, transformation, the occult, spirituality. Like, this is the Scorpio house. So you're questioning. If you're a Virgo rising and you're not having an existential crisis right now, like, you're not paying attention. This is about existential crises galore, and that's okay. Everybody has them every now and then. Oh, you got 2 cards. Look at that. How good. So number 1, you got the 9 of Pentacles, which I already told you before is a Virgo card, and it relates to Venus. So, and then this is the King of Cups reversed. Do you see how this King of Cups reversed right here? It's like this. This is the. When you see a king in the contrary and you see a queen here, this is a little bit about, like, I think you continue to have a story in your head about, okay, because it relates to Venus. It's like you think that a partner is going to come in and just solve all the problems. Just come in and swoop in and, like, that's it. That's partner is the missing piece of the puzzle. And that's an old story, right? Like, this king in the contrary, maybe this king is out there. Okay, I'm not saying the king isn't out there, but I'm just saying, like, look at her. As long as you have her and you appreciate her in all of her glory, like, there's not a lot that he is going to be able to add to this, right? So that's a huge lesson for you, Virgo, especially as we're closing out the South Node being in your first house of, like, you attract him, her, them, zero, through being your best self, your happiest self alone. Have you learned to be alone? Have you learned that you are enough exactly as you are? Have you learned that lesson? Because that is the most important lesson you are supposed to learn, okay? It is you, this person, like, doesn't want to attract the person, the partner. I'm sorry, I have a Virgo rising in my head, and so he is being attached to this, but I want to divorce it from that. Hold on, clear my mind for a second. So, like, by being this person, by being someone who is complete unto themselves, who has everything they desire, who has all of their little bushes and pentacles in their robes, and they're so happy. This person does not attract this person. This person might attract this person, but this person can no longer attract this person. This person who's just, like, doesn't come with a full cup. Oof. And if you don't believe me, this is the 2 of Wands. Remember, like I said before, so this is Mars. This is planning. This is action. So this is like, look, let's pretend for a second it is just you. How is that going to change your life? What choices would you make? And how would it change your programming if it were different? And so you got a little angel at the bottom that is in the contrary too, which is just like, there is no, the point of this life is to be happy right here. Everything else is a gift. Because you're a Virgo rising, like, you're so good at organizing everything. And it's just like the thing that you don't do, though, is give yourself credit for being you. And that's the point. That's the point of the South Node being there. It's not all bad, though. It's not all bad. Like, this, does she look upset? No. And look, it's not to say that, you can't have your fun, too. It's not to say that this guy won't appear. But the most important thing is, like, her. Enjoy being her for a minute. Because, man, sometimes when you have someone in your life, if you don't have 2 bathrooms, it's a real pain in the butt. Okay. Libra risings. all of this is happening in your 7th house of relationships. Oof. Okay. Did I do that right? Is that right? Have I been doing this right the whole time? Have I been doing it wrong the whole time? I don't think so. 7th, 8th. Oh God. Now I'm panicking. 7th house, 12th house. No, I did it right. I did it right. It's just weird when I get to the other side of the chart, then I have to like flip my world around. Okay, so this is definitely happening. This is definitely happening in your 7th house of relationships. I know this because you're sister signs. I just had a small panic attack. So it definitely with my Libra risings. Anytime you get in between a Virgo and a Libra, you're just like, why do I feel so anxious? That's why. Okay. You have the King of Swords. I feel like you've gotten this card before. I feel like this card might be stalking you. So the King of Swords is someone who knows their mind, right? And you, as the King of Swords, you have the 3 of Cups. In the contrary, somebody needs to do some house cleaning in their relationships. And that's it. Like, this is clear. This is totally clear. Especially because you're... so if I'm going this way, 4th house, your career house is where Jupiter is, squaring all of this. So like this is like work relationships. That's specifically what this is. So if you're a Libra rising, you have to make some real decisions about work relationships because the 3 is related to Mercury and stories. The 3 of Cups is related to Mercury and stories and like gossip and people talking. And the King of Swords is about like ideas in the mind. Also could be a Mercury related card. So yeah, this is about you getting clarity on something that you want to build and the people that you want to build with. And going back to the drawing board and cutting people off where you need to cut them off, like full stop. Like if there are people that are impeding your path in terms of your career, like, and those relationships aren't working, cut. Done. Period. I know you don't like to seem like the bad guy, Libra rising, but like, you're not, I told someone this today. I was like, you're not the bad guy for advocating for yourself. Okay. Just remember that. Alrighty. So that leaves us with my Scorpios. Scorpio risings. Blah, blah. This is happening in your 5th house of, no, your 6th house of work and health. That's right. Yes, that's right, because it's going under the hood. Your 6th house of work and health in Aries, it's like, man, you are bored at work. You are bored at work and you're like, get me out of here. I want to do something else. Also, Aries rules the head. So if you're having headaches right now or migraines right now, or like you can't focus and your attention's going over the place, like there's a reason. There's a lot of activity behind the scenes. So please be good to your head. Give yourself little head massages. Get enough sleep. Get enough water. Get a better pillow. Like whatever you have to do to protect your head. Yeah. Times they are changing at work. So this is the 2 of Cups reversed. This is also a card related to Cancer. And this is the 7 of Cups in the contrary. So this is about like rolling the dice with relationships that are ending, of like, you've gone to the drawing board, you've done all the worst case scenario planning, and it's just like, yeah, whatever. Like, I know that there's rules with all other partnerships. This is the Scorpio card, by the way. The 7 of Cups relates to relationships, and this is the 2 of Cups, which is Cancer for relationships. This is all about relationships, but because we're talking about your relationship and work and health in that area of your chart, something is not working in your partnerships, and like, it's time to address it and face it. Sorry, this is the Devil card, which is relates to your your third house of communication, writing, daily life, siblings, whatever. But this is about like toxic attachments, or just attachments in general. But it's like also if you have Capricorn placements in that area of your chart or that are significant, it's time to really pay attention to those now, because like you're the boss, applesauce. And if a partnership isn't working out for you, it's not for you, especially with a sixth house in Aries. It's just like, you'd rather burn it down and start something over because you can. Like you're the kind of person that has the momentum and be like, this isn't working. Let's just do it. Let's just start over, start something new. I can burn it down. I can start it again. It's fine. It actually lights you up. The excitement lights you up. But if you have Capricorn placements, the cost of that is the thing that gives you pause. So just know that like whatever placements you have in Capricorn are squaring all of this stuff in Aries. And so like the financial cost and like being perfect and not wanting to start over is weighing against this sixth house of work and health in Aries. That's just like, no, we have to try and make mistakes and start over and burn it down and do. So it's like, it's really these two pillars of, like a scientist who is just like, you have to try, you have to experiment. This is the Aries energy of like, try new things, explore new things, discover, curiosity, like everything. And like the professor who's just like, nope, like the institutional professor is like, no, it must be rigid. It must be this. It must be calculated. The investor and the entrepreneur, like there's these two things that are at odds. And if you can reconcile, look, Scorpio Risings, you're very discerning. If you can reconcile those two pieces and you can take calculated risks, you'll be fine. But like the energy, all of the energy right now is towards rebirth, starting over, like all of it. Mercury, Neptune, Mars, Saturn, the Sun, Chiron, and the Moon. All of this is saying like, it's time to dream a new dream and to speak it into reality and to take the lessons that are good and bad and also take action to build something new where you can see yourself and have fun and leave room for experimentation. Like, that's the story. I believe in you. Okay. Sagittarius Risings. This is in your fifth house of cess and pleasure and fun and joy. So if you've been having, and it's like creative expression. So if you've been on like a tear, dating a bunch and having a bunch of sex and meeting a bunch of people and going out and partying, good for you. If you have been writing a bunch and creating a bunch and painting murals or just writing, poetry until 3 a.m. in the morning, good for you. That's amazing. All of this energy is saying yes to that. Do that. Do that. Okay, you have the strength reversed, right? So this is about inner strength. This is about inner knowing. And you also have the Page of Wands reversed. So this is a lot of fire energy right now. Obviously makes sense. You're a fire rising. Jupiter led fire rising. And all of this stuff is like create. And to some extent that comes with a little bit of like a burn it down. So 7th, 8th, 9th. So this relates to your 9th house. No, this relates to your 9th house in Leo. I think basically what this reading is saying is like, look, you're trying new things and you have all this energy of being like, I'm just going to try out blazing my own path. I'm just going to try it out. And I might not be perfect at it, but like, I know who I am, that Leo, right? That's inner strength. I know who I am. I know what I bring and I can do it. And I want to try it. Like I'm tired of the old. I want to try new things. I believe that I can do this. And like, I'm okay taking a first step knowing that like, this is about creative expression, sex and pleasure. Like if I'm not trying new things in order to seek and understand my own pleasure, like what am I doing here? So this is a very much a vibrant, fun energy. And this is a really exciting time for you, Sag Risings, because the universe is basically saying like, go, like get on your own magic spaceship and like in your mind or through your hands or through your food or through your work or whatever, however you express yourself creatively or sexually or just like however you find pleasure, like it's time for some pleasure because you've been working really hard and you have that like, second house Capricorn of like, if it's funny, you're Jupiter led so that you're a very lucky sign, but that second house in Capricorn is just like, sure, but I have to do the work. And it makes it hard. And then you have that 10th house in Virgo, which is just like, okay, and I have to be, when I'm at work, I have to be perfect. So like, this is that time to be like, no, go play, go play, go have fun, go make connections, go, have a bunch of sex and like, I don't know, make a baby, like whatever you want to do that is pleasurable, do it. Okay. The universe gives you permission. Okay, my Capricorn Risings. Capricorn Risings calling. Capricorn Risings. This is happening in your 4th house of home. And so there's a lot going on. Maybe a lot of wounds, a lot of childhood wounds coming up right now for Capricorn Risings, especially with Chiron there and Saturn and Mars. This is sort of like everything about where you come from and like the homes that you live in that you're establishing. All of this is like reckoning right now. There's like a reckoning happening right now for Capricorn Risings. And this is the 4 of Cups reversed. This is the 4 of Cups this relates to your 7th house. And this is the 9 of Pentacles. And the 9 of Pentacles we talked about is a Venus card, which is your 9th house of like travel. So with the 4 of Cups here, this is telling me that like there's a relationship that you've been dreaming about or some sort of opportunity that you've been wishing for in terms of a relationship, and it hasn't come to fruition yet. And it actually has come to fruition, but you're so focused on the cups in front of you that you're missing it. And part of the reason why you're missing it is because you're so focused on the past, right? The past being represented by these 3 cups that are already present. And I say this because Jupiter, your relationships, there's a Jupiter there, right? In Cancer, in your 7th house of like people who were brought to you starting last summer. There was a huge focus on your relationships where something that was like caring and nurturing came into your relationship stratosphere and like you either ignored it or were so focused on the past that you didn't really drink from it. You didn't really make a move. You didn't really use it the way that you were meant to use it. And we have an opportunity now in your 9th house of like travel, to really, it's like travel, publishing. There's an opportunity now to just sort of put something in motion that creates this sort of luxury and abundance for you. Because it's in your 9th house, maybe it's something like a book or putting yourself out into the world or supporting a relationship that goes out into the world. I'm not quite sure the context, but this is that Taurus energy. So the Taurus energy is your 5th house of creative expression. So this leads me to believe that, this is about you establishing a place because it's Taurus, and Uranus is about to leave here. So this is about like, breaking ground on something, utilizing your resources and like creating harmony for other relationships that you want to bring in through a physical space. Through a place where people feel safe and can travel to or go to destinations and set up other places, put things out into the world. It definitely, this is definitely like a divine signal of like, now is the time. Now is the time to take action and create a new home and a new space a physical space where people can come together. I mean, also because it's Taurus, it's like working on their bodies. Yeah, the time has come to do that. Like, you've looked at the 3 cups that you have and you're like, something's not quite right. There's a bigger purpose. There's a larger opportunity that needs to be created, and it's time for you to take action and create it. That's what this new moon is bringing up. Okay. Aquarius risings. All of this is sextile. Everything we're talking about is sextile, your rising sign, where Pluto is conjunct. Okay, so you have the Queen of Swords in the contrary. So what this is telling me, and then you have the Page of Pentacles. So what this is telling me is when you have the Queen of Swords in the contrary, it's just like, you're either not quite sure of the direction or you want to make a pivot, because with it's paired with the Page of Pentacles, it's just like, okay, there's some opportunity that's like a newish opportunity. It's not fully fleshed out. Also, this is peeking out behind it, which is the 3 of Cups that I saw before, and also the 8 of Swords reverse. So 8 of Swords reverse, which is a Gemini card. So this is like Aquarius rising, you're thinking of an opportunity. You want to make a pivot. You want to make a change because something is not quite working. And you're just like, okay, you're gathering your resources. You're gathering your resources saying, oh, it's like, okay, what is this? How do I put thought around it? How do I shift my mindset so that I can sort of like focus in on what this is? And again, neither one of these cards are about taking action. This is just about like looking at your resources and taking inventory of what's going on because there's a change that needs to be made. And this is the 9 of Swords reversed. So this is another Gemini card. So the 8 of Swords is about Jupiter and abundance. So this is about you releasing your abundance. And then this is about releasing your fear of taking action. So because again, these are mind cards, mind cards. This is not a card of action. This is a card of like reflection. And if it is action, it's very, very, very slow planning action only. And then this is also a mind card. So like you have a lot of things that are going through your head at the time, all of them relating to the fact that like you need to go back to the drawing board a little bit more. And now is not the time to take action. This new moon is meant to figure out which seed you even want to plant, if that makes sense. And it will, because you're an Aquarius rising and you're all very smart. Okay. Last but certainly not least, Pisces risings. Hello, my little Pisces. How you doing? Everybody okay? This is happening in your second house. Let's see what I have for my Pisces risings. I have a feeling in my throat that was not there a second ago and was not there the whole reading. So something is telling me, Pisces, that you're holding something back. No. Well, I shuffled and I got the Queen of Swords again. But I want to make sure that that's the right card. Because this time it's in the upright position. Okay, yes. So your card is actually the Queen of Swords, and then you have the King of Pentacles reversed. So this is about the story. Do you remember how Aries was about the story before? Because we got the Aquarius card. So this is like, okay, you have your mindset shift correct now. And now this is about getting this is about bringing your mind into reality. So yeah, because underneath it, you have the 4 of Pentacles and then you have the Page of Pentacles. So like everything about this reading lets me know that like, unlike Aquarius, who's sort of in the planning phases of all of this stuff, you're not in the planning phase. You're like, pivot, please. That way, we're going that way. And now it's about like how you feel about it. The pivot is correct. The mindset shift is correct, okay? Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about the resources. And I know that's a weird thing to say because this is all about worrying about those things. All the ways in which this could go wrong is sitting in the cumulus clouds behind, right? And the wind blowing in the trees. But the point is, you know where you want to go and your mindset says this way. And so this new moon allows you to take the time to really figure out the resources that you need, the physical realities of what this entails. Like, it's time. You've been tasked a lot, Pisces, by all of the stuff that's now in Aries. All of this went through Pisces the last 3 years. So you've been really tasked with sort of figuring out the changes that you've wanted to make and you've done the unearthing, okay? So now it's about really tangibly, that you felt the feelings, now that you've done the disassociating and that you've come back into the reality, now it's about getting your mindset right so that the world, once the mindset is there, then the world can reflect that back to you. And it's a king, so it's good. Like, it's good. If you've made the good changes in good direction, this is a success in the making, okay? It's a success in the making. Good stuff. Especially because this is an Earth card, and you have Uranus, which has been in Taurus in your third house of like daily life and communication and things like that. And it's just like, yes, when the story is there, when the story is right, when the mindset is right, then the barriers to your physical well-being and materializing things and communicating out into the world, all the limits will be off. Okay? All the limits will be off. It's a strange way of saying this. All the lights will be green. There'll be no more limits. There'll be no more changes. There'll be no more stalling. Those will actually move into your fourth house, which is in Gemini, which is just like, okay, so moving it into your fourth house means like whatever you're putting out into the world, whatever changes you want to make, great. You can then make them because you'll have the freedom to do so. And moving will be, could be something on the horizon. And that's a good thing. Okay. Well, thank you for coming to this collective tarot. I feel like I'm going to pull you one more card just for your luck card, just because this is a new moon and this is about setting intentions. And sometimes I just like to pay things forward. So I'm sending you all this one wish for this new moon. It's the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups, again, is the Cancer card. It came up in Capricorn Risings. So the Four of Cups is literally the moon card, and the Eight of Wands is the Sagittarius card, but it's a sign of like all systems go. Like, this is about setting a new emotional foundation for the things that you want. And I want that for all of you. Like, I want these readings to resonate. I want you to get the most out of them. If you have questions about any of these, like, there's a myriad of ways to reach out to me. I will answer those questions. I care very much about your well-being, and I want to see you succeed. I want to see you win. I want to see you meet every challenge and learn and grow and expand, because that makes for you to achieve your highest purpose. And when you reach your highest purpose, it means that the world starts to be created the way it was intended to be created. Therefore, it makes it better for me and for everybody. And that is all I want. It is why I do the work that I do. And I can't think of any better wish for you than for you to take this offering from Spirit, because I don't do this alone, and really invest it in yourself. Like, really listen, look at your chart, listen to the reading, look at the planets, see how it's relating. Like if you want, I have free guides that I give with every reading. I'm more than happy to just give them to you without paying for a reading. I understand everybody is strapped right now for cash. Great. Just reach out to me and say, hey, I heard, like, bookings@lightwork.care is the email address. Send me an email and say, hey, I heard you had a guide. I'll email it to you. No problem. It's my pleasure, because I just want everybody to know how to do this for themselves, because it will give you some insights on how to choose the easiest, most efficient path for you in life. That's what this reading is. It's to say, hey, during this time, this is what the soil looks like in the universe, and here's the best way to plant some seeds, and here's where you can plant them to make the biggest bang for your buck. That's what I want for you. So I hope you enjoy this reading. I hope it answers any questions you have. On my YouTube channel, I'm actually going to start doing some other channeling. I just am getting a bunch of different messages that there's people that really need readings, and so I'm going to start doing more readings, just like in general. I think I might be doing them weekly. And it's going to be a little bit of like a tic-tac-toe thing where I'm going to do I'm going to do cards for the signatures, like if it's mutable, cardinal, or fixed, and then signs for the elements, if it's fire, earth, water, or air. And then you can put that together, and then you'll have your reading for the week, because you'll have it for all of your, instead of having to listen to your sun, moon, rising, you'll basically know your whole elements, so you can activate your entire chart. And I just thought that would be a nice thing to do for everybody. Ace of Wands, so that everybody sort of gets like a fresh start in understanding, like, you're not just your sun sign, you're not just your rising sign, you're a collection of all these different energies working at once constantly. And the more you understand that, the more you see the complexity in yourself, the more grace you'll have, the more fun you'll have, the more curiosity you'll have about, like, who you are, how you operate, how you flex, how you grow, how you expand, where you stumble, where your blind spots are. Like, the better you know yourself, activated by all the different things in your chart, the better off you'll be prepared for anything that comes your way. Okay? I send you off into the world with many blessings as my cat destroys his little cat palm tree. Happy new moon in Aries.